Hello everybody and welcome back. Good to talk to all of you again today. And today's video is, let's just say, one where we talk a little bit about the channel, plans for the future, that kind of stuff. Of course, the battle in the background is also kind of an entertaining battle, nonetheless. Myself and two other people in the division were all playing a Hutniks. Now, the minute you see a Hutniks, you know for a fact that this is just mostly a humorous kind of game. And it actually does end up being quite humorous. You will see as the battle unfolds what ends up happening. But of course, let's move on to the meat of today's video, which is, what's going to happen with the channel, what are my future plans, etc, etc, etc. So first things first, obviously you've noticed that recently in terms of videos, what content I have made for YouTube has been made specifically for that one tutorial series, which is the How to Get Good at World of Warship series. That series I intend to obviously continue and hopefully eventually, I guess, update that series so that I encompass sort of everything that's important in the year 2020 if you want to be a World of Warships player, especially a competent one. So that entire series is, I guess, current work in progress. I'm not doing particularly a lot of sort of review or work in progress videos currently, mostly because between streaming and having to make YouTube content, I really don't have enough time, and that has to do with the conditions of my neighbors really. During the daytime with young kids, they make a metric ton of noise, and in the early evening when some of the young people upstairs get back, then they also make a metric ton of noise. So really my recording times in terms of freedom to record and to stream whatever is about 6 hours, starting at around 11:30 at night until about 5:30 to about maybe 6 o'clock if I'm lucky in the morning. So it is a little challenging right now to try to do both, but I am of course on Twitch, and if you have any questions you can hop on the stream if you can catch me during the stream, and of course ask your questions then. I actually am in a reasonable block of time, I think. Twitch link of course is coming up on your screen now. So, hop on by, say hello. If you got any questions, you can always ask me while I'm live and streaming. I'm usually streaming these days about 5 days of sort of Monday through Friday at that time slot every single day. So come on by and say hello. Alright, so going back to the YouTube situation, like I said, the tutorial series will continue. I'm making it sort of my mission right now to have a fully updated tutorial series by like midpoint of this year at the latest. And that's also because in September, I'm actually going to be heading back to school. Now, for those of you who've been followers and subscribers of this channel for a very, very long time, you know that I went to Teachers College, got a professional teacher certification, taught kids, did all that. But over the last couple of years, as I've been a World of Warships content creator, and of course, for me, this interest went outside of just the game, right? I did a lot of sort of videos regarding ship design and looked into a lot of ship design things. It really made me want to pursue that field as well. So this past November, I decided it was time to go study something new, and I applied to a naval architecture program at the Marine Institute, part of Memorial University in Newfoundland and Labrador, which is like the easternmost side of Canada. Apparently, I'm just heading further and further east in Canada. Halifax was obviously not that far east for me. I had to go all the way. So I'm going to be ending up in St. John's, Newfoundland in September of this year, although that's actually when school starts, so I'm guessing I might be moving like late August is my guess right now. But anyways, obviously when that happens and I do end up going to school and having to take classes full time, it is going to create some limitations in terms of what I'm actually able to spend time on. So most likely what's going to happen is when that happens, I will be spending more time on Twitch, so I can still play the game, still hang out with all of you guys. But YouTube content in terms of just like dedicated to World of Warships, it's probably going to be a little bit less. In fact, the YouTube channel might begin to go in another interesting direction. Now, I'm not sure how many of you guys are interested, so please do let me know in the comment section below, but Obviously, as I'm going through the Naval Architecture program and learning stuff and designing stuff and whatnot, on a far more, I guess, technical level, I'm hoping actually to start introducing that topic to all of you guys. Not sure how many of you are interested in the, more technical aspects of ship design and construction and whatnot, but could be something interesting. Now, obviously, if you're looking for World of Warships in September of this year, Twitch is probably going to be the easier place to go find me, although I'm probably going to find some way to connect Twitch gameplay to YouTube and figure out how I'm going to transfer that. Not 100% sure yet. Obviously, this stuff is still quite a ways away. For now, my primary concern, of course, is completing that How to Get Good series. Of course, this also gives you guys right now, as we have this little block of time, where if you have requests, now is a very good time to start making them. In this video in particular, in the comment section, make requests, because what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be reading through those comments and trying to see what I can fit into the video making process or whatever to make those videos. Of course, if it's tutorial related, most likely I will get to it. So I know episode 10 of the How to Get Good series is going to focus on positioning for at least like one ship class at a time. Probably going to start with battleships, then cruisers, then destroyers, like again, sort of the typical class by class kind of division. So that's currently the most next, I guess, whatever video that's coming. And that's sort of where we are. Also, by the way, in case you've been paying attention to this game, this was a really fun game. It's a double carrier game. I had so much fun in this one, right? I'm down to 100 health already, and this is actually where the cool part begins, because at 100 health with 2 carriers flying around, I'm just like, there is nothing left in this game that I can possibly do, right? Oh, you will see. This actually ends up being a pretty cool moment, because I actually see 2 battleships, both kind of slow, the New York and the Fuso, and I'm just like, I'm going to go for them. Remember, Okhotnik only has 4.5 kilometer torpedoes. I don't have very, very good torpedoes, and of course my surface detect is a lot bigger than my torpedo range, so I will get detected, and I still have to close in another kilometer and a bit. So we'll see how this goes, but it is a mightily entertaining moment. Anyhow, yeah, so going back to what I was saying earlier, so that's kind of what I think is going to be happening. I'm going to kind of be pivoting in the direction where the World of Warship stuff will be moving more onto Twitch. In fact, most of the gameplay oriented stuff is going to be moving more towards Twitch, where things that have better longevity in terms of like guides or tutorials or that kind of stuff, that will be very much on YouTube, where if you're looking for guides, if you're looking for like the best possible information, it will be here. At least in terms of like game mechanics and things like that. If you're looking for like the most recent news, probably Twitch stream is probably going to be better. Mind you, the hold all the news things, especially when we have like dev blogs and all that right now. I mean, a lot of the information is actually quite accessible. Oh yeah, so this is what I mean. I ended up charging in here against a New York and this Fuso. Now my torpedoes, as you can see, just run out from the New York by probably 50 meters or whatever, but I do manage to dev strike a Fuso on 160 HP. Oh, it's fantastic. But like I said, this game actually ends up being quite a bit better as well, because you'll see that the end game of this game is fantastic, by the way. You'll see something that you very rarely see in the game. Anyways, so yeah, a lot of the tutorial stuff, like I said, will probably be on YouTube. Of course, if you have requests or whatnot, like I said, now's probably a very good time to make those requests, because obviously I will put them in on a timetable and see if I can hit those various topics and whatnot. Also, do keep in mind that the limitations on topics are not just entirely World of Warships. It can be really anything else that I've experienced as a content creator. If you want to ask, hey, how is the whole content creation thing? What does it feel like to be a YouTuber? I don't know. If you've got those kinds of questions, you can ask, and I might be able to dedicate a video to those topics as well. Again, time will be the primary dictator of what kind of things gets covered. By the way, the second great moment of this video is actually, well, not this video, but this battle happens here. So my division mate in Ochotnik gets like a golden opportunity, like absolutely the best opportunity in this game to get himself an amazing strike as well. You can see the Shores is coming in, and the Shores has no idea the Ochotnik is here. So all he has to do right now is stick a lot closer to this island that you see right now to the left. Get a lot closer to the island, pop up like right there from the tip of the island, and that enemy Shores is within distance to strike. And of course, with the amount of HP he's got, he can probably absorb one salvo from the Shores, but the Shores will not be able to resist the torpedoes. Unfortunately, he goes a little far, fires a little too early, and all the torpedoes went for nothing. And then of course he gets blocked. Wuhan. Mistakes were made. Proper ambushing techniques, by the way, if you are really thinking about ambushing someone, especially if you're playing lower tier destroyers where you don't have that great torpedo range, if you're gonna pop up on someone, make sure you pop up at the last possible nanosecond. Don't come out early and don't come out far from the island. Really close that distance as much as you can so they have very little time to react correctly. Furthermore, especially if they're bow into you like that, see if you can maybe create a situation where you can like sort of hold off on the torpedo, the initial torpedo salvo, and get into the ideal position, shall we say, to fire off those torpedoes. So obviously in this particular battle, you can see that, things are still sort of even. We're even on ships. Both carriers are obviously still alive. They're doing good damage. The two carriers, by the way. In fact, you'll see the carriers are the ones who really, I think, end up influencing the match. Surface ships, they're trying. That's the best thing to say. They're trying. Verbius Unitus, let's not talk about his experience. He's trying to come out. He's going to be full broadside in front of a King George V. You can already imagine how this is going to end up for the Unitus. Yeah. And of course that KG5 knows how to use AP, so oof, even more. Even though these days it's a lot harder to get massively blapped by full broadside, claps into your Citadel, because Citadels are a lot harder to hit now, it is still painful. You can still eat a tremendous amount of damage when you come out that way. Anyways, hopefully this Unitus learns that. By the way, Helena just gets clapped by the Ryujo because why not? You'll end up seeing the fun experience, quote unquote, the fun experience of being a surface ship when the carriers are out to get you. You should pay attention to on New Orleans, by the way. He's gonna experience the fun and engaging aspect of this gameplay. Speaking of the carrier thing, I don't know how many of you watched Mingles with Jingles earlier, but he posted a video, and it was about somebody asking him a question like, if he had the power to remove one thing, what would he remove? And he was like, carriers. And the guy even says you can't talk about carriers, and then Jingles spends like the entire video talking about carriers. Jingles, I love the guy. His ability to just answer the question that somebody asked that he wasn't supposed to answer, yet he answered anyways, is great. But honestly, he makes very, very good points. I mean, you guys really should go and have a listen, because it's the same issue that you're going to hear from all the good players essentially in the game who have issues with the carrier surface ship interaction. I still have issues with this interaction, and I play carriers, and I still think it's a ridiculous interaction. I don't know. I don't think we're going to be seeing an end to that. I think that interaction is going to stay. My interaction as a carrier against surface ships, I can feel how unfair it is. And of course, when I do play surface ships, and these days I generally don't even play destroyers, because there are days where play destroyer get name spotted, and especially if it's a carrier, then it's just like game over from there. So there are times where I just don't want to play. But anyhow, go watch Jingles' video about that. He makes some very, very good points, and I agree with him. It's such a problematic thing, but I don't think Wargaming's really going to listen and fix it. They're really stuck up in their own ideas as well. And I think this is also and I guess this is the final portion of the video. This is also why these days I'm just so much more focused on tutorials. You know, for the people who still play the game, who are trying to learn the game, I want to provide them with the best possible information and allow them to use the best information for themselves to enjoy the game. But for me personally, just like in terms of my overall feelings towards wargaming, it's, let's just say, not very positive. Ever since Puerto Rico, that entire fiasco and the things that happened there, I have just not been overly impressed or happy or whatever with wargaming. So these days, you know, in terms of streaming, you know, I will play the game, really also because this is the only naval game really out there that you can play. War Thunder just isn't really a competition for this game because it's, you know, a lot of that is little boats and only at the end you get to big ships. And so I, like, realistically speaking, I would say if there was a good competitor to come out, I would probably be spending a lot more time playing that, is my honest answer. But for now, you know, my objective is obviously to provide best possible information. You know, not be too frustrated with wargaming, which helps when I don't have to, you know, talk about every bit of, you know, work in progress stuff or whatever development block stuff. You know, as long as I kind of close my eyes to that kind of stuff, I'm generally happier with what I'm doing. So I guess that also plays a role. But yeah, you know, like I said earlier, we're going to eventually have a new branch of topics, I guess, come up on the YouTube channel, and I'm excited for that. I'm excited for something different. Although I'm not sure how semester 1's going to look like. Honestly, I looked at semester 1. I think I have like one naval architecture related course, and then I have like 3 other courses that are like physics, chemistry, and math. So I don't know, it might just die when I have to look back at a subject that I haven't touched in like 10 plus years. So we'll see how that goes. And by the way, in the battle, this is the final glorious moment. Our carrier, our Ryujo, by the way, which has really been doing an amazing job, you know, sinking enemy ships and really helping us win the game, has decided to be a man and get into secondary range with their ranger. Just, this is the best ending moment ever, bar none. This is incredible. I watched the CV not only cap a cap, but get into a secondary duel in a random battle. So all the Ochotnik shenanigans aside, this was a fantastic finale, and I hope you guys are enjoying this moment as much as I do. Anyways, folks, you know, take care of yourselves. Be really, really well. Wish you all the best in the next couple of days. And of course, I will talk to you all in the next How to Get Good at World Warships video, which is coming hopefully soon in the next couple of days. So stay tuned for that. Take care, be safe, and I'll talk to all of you again soon.